Hello and welcome back. This is part 2 of my E3 predictions slash thoughts video. And day 2 will have, of course, like these, like the proper second day of E3 will have the Nintendo and Sony press conferences, as well as I think a few of the smaller ones, perhaps maybe like Konami and Square Enix, and maybe a few other ones as well that only a handful of people can check out since it doesn't be broadcast, but you get the like news and info from them anyway. Nintendo's one, just pretty much start off. I hope it's better than the last 2 years because I watched them last. I watched the last two last year, and I just felt like, come on, they just should just like 2007's. I felt was just pretty much a whole they just felt like we're better than you though in that kind of way because they felt like because the fact is they were just going on and on about how well they were doing and how the ways just pretty much swept the world and had these flipping 50 montages of like everyone playing the Wii and how it's selling like hotcakes and all news stories and things like that there now. And by the end of it, just felt really annoyed though. I just felt like that there, and pretty much the fact is that the whole statistics part, like the whole like pricing, like sales and things like that now, kind of went on too long. And yes, every conference has that there because they have to for like all like the financial analysts and stuff like that. But not for when it goes on for too long, and it went on too long and not their one. And I was just like, please get on with it. Seriously, we know already. Last year's wasn't really that much better. I think last year's was probably worse than the year before because last year there was nothing came out of it that myself and probably a lot of other people were really like oh wait, I can't wait for this here now. Like Wii Music, no one that I talked to could have cared less about that game, and judging by like the first weeks or months or sales of it, it showed that not a lot of other people cared about it either. Because quite frankly, I just think it was just it would be fun for maybe like an hour, but then it would just be boring, and it just felt like too much of a gimmick. But this year should be interesting indeed because of the fact is that actually the Wii has actually picked itself up and actually has been releasing pretty good games over the last several months. Like I actually picked a lot of games up there for the Wii over the last several months though, and I've actually been playing more of the Wii than I have been in a good while. Mainly because there's actually games that have come out for it that I want to play, and I got. Like Klonoa, Punch Out, and there's other games that are out though and I still want to get. House of Dead Overkill I heard's a great game and I should pick it up. And I'm sure there is games that's going to be announced at this show that should be very interesting indeed. There's the new Zelda Spirits Tracks games that's coming out. Spirit Track game for the DS, which should be interesting indeed. This is pretty much like just a follow-up to Phantom Hourglass. It still has that Zelda tune look to it, which I think they'll probably do from now on with the whole, DS games for Zelda now. Whereas for like the proper one, they'll probably go with a more sort of grown-up Link. And perhaps they might have an announcement for a new Zelda game on the Wii. They might, but I won't be surprised. I won't be shocked if they didn't now. But you never know. There could be some sort of a game. One I would like to hear about is some sort of maybe possibly some sort of Donkey Kong Country game. Like a reformat of it or something like that now. But I don't probably see it coming though, mainly because the fact is that it was made by Rare, and Rare are part of Microsoft now, so it'd be very hard to see it coming though. But I would really much like it, something for like the DS, of course, with maybe touchscreen controls or something. It'd be pretty cool though, indeed. I would very much like it. So it would, because there has been like the first party offerings from Nintendo have been good though, but for they always usually be though. So they do, because they make sure that those games are good before they put them out, to tell you the truth. Sometimes it might not be as great, like Zelda Majora's Mask is one of is probably my least favorite Zelda game of the ones I've like played through and completed. Um, I just didn't like the whole time format. I don't think a lot of people, I think some people do, but hopefully they don't go along those lines ever again. So they don't. They'll probably have more on that Wii Sports game for the coming out soon, the Summer Resort or whatever it's called, the ones with all the beach and that. Should be interesting though anyway. I'm sure a lot of people would like it though, because they loved Wii Sports, and like, yeah, it'll be nice to have like some sort of game like that, but I probably won't pick it up. Like, I played Wii Sports for like a week probably after I got it, and that was pretty much all I pretty much got out of it then. It's not like a horrible game, but like, it is a great like little starter game for your Wii anyway when you got it. So, and maybe they'll probably have some sort of, bundle with it perhaps in the future, um, with like new Wii's. Another thing they might do though, you remember back when they actually had like, Wii's and Revolutions that showed different colours? Are they ever going to do something about that? Because it would be nice, like limited edition style Wii's, like ones with like maybe like Mario on it, like red, like green for Link, and like, golden or like yellow whatever for like, Wario, or like Metroid or Samus Aran or something like that. Could happen, but we never know. There might be some sort of announcement concerning more games are compatible with the Wii Speak, so there would be now, which which would probably be interesting though, because it'd be nice to have more games that have sort of, like voice chat for the Wii though, because of course there's games that has online, but lacking in the voice chat department. And it's just sometimes you would prefer to talk to people though, like especially talk to your friends online, like playing something like Mario Kart or Sprawl or something. It'd be nice to just have the games coming out that has that capability, because the only game that I know of thus far is Animal Crossing, so it is. Um, and it'll just be interesting, of course. Like, all the conference always be interesting though, and just have to wait and see what comes out of them. So I'll be looking forward to the Nintendo one this year, because because they could actually surprise me and actually make it worthwhile. But then again, I'm not gonna sort of anticipate it now, because the last two offerings were just horrible in my opinion. And finally, the Sony's press conference now should be interesting indeed. I'm sure we'll probably have announced. They'll have the detail. I'm not sure they're going to announce it at the press conference or probably just during the show itself. But there is going to be details in God of War 3 and the release date of it, which I'll predict will be March 2010 in the US, and probably like maybe a couple of months after in the Europe and elsewhere. Mainly because God of War always came out around March time, so it has. It came out March 2005. First game came out March 2007. God of War 2 came out. I think March 2008. I believe Chains of Olympus came out. So won't be surprised. I heard some people say it actually might come out this year. One, I would love it to come out this year, but it's not going to happen. I would be surprised if it is, because I just don't see it coming though. But I can't wait for God of War 3. I love the God of War series, and God of War 3, from what I've seen thus far, looks just as epic and action packed and full of awesomeness as the God of War series has. They'll probably show footage of that massive action game that has like 256 players online, and see how it works. I will be checking it out now. I'm not going to say I'm very much anticipating it now. Just haven't really seen a whole lot about it. I don't know if there's any footage of it already released though, because I haven't like looked around. But I'm sure they'll have footage of it, more details in it. Probably like, I'll say they'll probably have some sort of beta probably for that game. I'm just saying I'll just predict they'll have like might have a beta for that game before they release it. Depending on when it's out. If it's out this year, they'll probably have a beta like a month before. If it's out next year sometime, I'm sure they'll have one, of course. So this will do for part 2. I'll talk more about the Sony conference and some of the games that I'm looking to see more of during the E3. So until then, later.